Hey there, Captain Steve. We're going to be doing a follow-up to our first video that we ever did with the Lectra San sanitation system. Rob sent us an email asking about hooking up the system in fresh water, and we did that when we were in the St. Johns River when we first owned our boat. The system that I had set up basically uses a brine tank that feeds its salt water into the main water being pulled from the, in this case, river or lake, and then that getting pushed into the toilet. We're using a Jabsco pump. If you're using a different setup, it's basically the same process. You're going to need to connect a valve, a T valve, onto the system so that you can allow the brine to flow into it that way. So let me show you what this tank looks like. Here we have the tank. Just a plastic box. It has a lid to keep it all together. The lid, I drilled a hole in the lid, you can see that right there, to allow some airflow into the box. The fitting down here that allows the brine to flow is an electrical fitting, because that's what I could find that both had a gasket on both sides of it, on the internal side of the box, and then on the external side of the box you can see that little black gasket in there. Then the hose fit right on the end with that connector and was locked in, and then that feeds into the T valve that hooks into the system. I found that the best material to use with this was usually pool salt. It's tended to dissolve quickly, so this whole thing would be filled with salt. Then you would add water to it. I would usually get gallons of water out of the river and pour it in there, usually every other day or so, just to make sure that it was feeding properly. Okay, so that's what the tank system basically looks like, with the hose going to the other parts. Okay, so we're downstairs in the head, and we're looking at how the pumping system works for the Jabsco setup toilet system. This is your seawater line, or your incoming water line from your raw water line, and it comes into the bottom of the unit. And then you have an outgoing line which comes out to the toilet. Your selector switch basically is going to allow you to draw water in and expel water out. So that's what those switches are there for. When you have a brine tank in this whole mix, it's going to be connected into the raw water line at about right in here someplace, so that as you're pumping that fresh water in, it is also drawing from the tank as well. So that's going to be pulling salt water in with your theoretically fresh water, and then that's going to be drawn into the pumping system and then back out to the toilet. So that's how you basically get the brine from one end of this to the toilet and get it mixed with your fresh water. So this valve connects in, just a real simple clip that goes in the side there, and then the hose usually snakes through, and I had mine come through that hole right down there and into the brine tank, which was underneath the sink. So that's basically the connection part down here in the head. All right, Rob, I hope that helped in understanding how the brine tank is connected to your system, and how it provides the needed salt to the Lectra San system. So if I can be any further help, please email me. Happy to respond to emails. So thanks so much, and appreciate your support. Talk to you later. Bye.